What in the heck is a quantum board LED? Let's check out the Spider Farmer SF2000 and find out. Welcome to the Hippie Geeks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to catch all our new content. Spider Farmer reached out to us about sponsoring a video covering their SF2000 quantum board grow light. They didn't know it, but we are planning on doing another indoor grow this winter, and we're looking at picking up new lights anyways. After checking out reviews online, it sounded like a very solid product, and we told them we would love to check it out. The light arrived in an unmarked cardboard box that was well secured, but still easy enough to open. In the box is a manual showing some of the light's specifications, then once you get the top foam and cardboard off, there is the light itself. Unlike a COB grow light, the individual LEDs are spread out over a larger space, giving you better coverage with a higher efficiency. It also means that the heat load is spread out over the entire panel so that the light does not need any active cooling on its own. It is completely silent. I am really excited about that part, as my recording room for YouTube is actually pretty close to the grow tent, and anything that reduces the noise levels is a solid benefit for me. Zooming in gives you a better look at the individual Samsung LM301B diodes, which are very high quality like everything else in this light, and while you can't really see it on the camera, this entire side is covered with a clear rubberized coating that gives the panel some solid moisture resistance. When you flip the panel over, the use of high quality components continues with the Meanwell ELG24048A driver that is used to push all those LEDs. It has a 6-foot cord connected to the driver and no power switch on the light, but I actually prefer that as it will be connected to a smart switch anyways. Also in the box, you will find the hanging wires and clips that connect to the edge of the board, and as a really nice touch, they also send a pair of ratcheting hanging cords, which is really great to see. When you buy this light, it comes with everything you need to get it properly hung up and ready to go. Now that we have taken a look at the light itself, let's get it plugged in and see how well it works. Newsflash, it works so well that the light completely blows out my camera and looks like this. On the upside, this gives you a really good look at the different colored LEDs they use on this board. There is a nice mix of bright white and warmer LEDs with several red ones in between the rows. Now, it is bright, surprisingly really bright. What I want to do though is put it in context against the lights that we have purchased a couple of years ago for our initial indoor grow. Those were very cheap and advertised as a 300 watt LED, though its actual draw is closer to 140 watts. For our test, I marked out a 24-inch by 36-inch grid on our kitchen table with marks every 6 inches in a grid so that I would have uniform spots to take measurements from that were consistent from grow light to grow light. Once that was set up, I hung the light centered 18 inches above the table, then took the lux measurements at each point on the grid and recorded the results. First up is the old 300 watt light that actually draws 140 watts from the wall. In the center, we have a decent result with 19.5 thousand lux, but it drops off quickly the further you get from the center, with the corners all showing about 800 lux. Not terribly surprising, as all of the LEDs are very closely spaced and the light only measures 9 inches by 13 inches. We ran with 9 of these lights plus a couple of other random lights in our first year with some fairly decent results, and I think that it is pretty average for the performance you would get out of any of these lights in the same advertised wattage. Now that we have a baseline from what we have used before, let's take a look at the Spider Farmer SF2000. Checking out the kilowatt tells us the light is drawing just under 200 watts. Those numbers though, wow, just wow. Looking at the center output is up at 39,000 lux, and the drop off across the board is much more gradual, getting down to only around 10,000 lux in the corners. These numbers are both surprising and exciting. For an additional 30% of power, we are getting 200% of the performance at the center of the chart and a whopping 800% increase at the corners. That is incredible. This single light is going to give me the performance of 3 of my old lights and use only 200 watts to do so. Better performance at a lower cost to run, that is something I can really appreciate. Not to mention a drastic reduction in the amount of hanging equipment for less lights, with the added benefit of not having a fan really makes this a better option in my opinion. If you are interested in checking out the technology behind these lights or the company selling them, we will have links to their website in the description below. If you want to pick one up, we will also have a link to it down there as well. As soon as we get the indoor grow going, we will revisit these comparisons as I want to see the difference between the plants under this light and the plants under the old lights. Keep an eye out in late November as we will be putting up those videos. If this is your first time here on the Hippie Geeks, it would be wonderful to have you subscribe. This channel is all about helping you visualize, learn, and create. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and check out our Patreon page or merch store to support the channel directly. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next one.